Hello everyone, this is our second video lecture regarding your chapter Surface Chemistry for a plus 2 class. During this lecture, we will discuss catalysts, its characteristics, enzymes and its characteristics. So now, here the contents are catalyst. What is a catalyst? What are the characteristics of a catalyst? Then inhibitors, activation energy, what is the role of a catalyst? What are the types of catalysis? What are catalytic inhibitors and promoters? What is enzyme catalysis? What is the mechanism of enzymes and the characteristics of enzyme catalysis? So moving to our first topic, what is a catalyst? So basically a catalyst is a substance that can be added to a reaction to increase the rate of a reaction without consumed in the process, or we can say that the catalyst is a substance which is added in a reaction and after complete of the reaction that catalyst will remove as such how it is added. So a catalyst is a typical substance which speed up a reaction by reducing the activation energy or changing the reaction mechanism. So our enzymes are also a catalyst. These are your biochemical catalysts. So this is a reaction. This reaction occurs without catalyst where no catalyst is present. This reaction have a high activation energy. In this reaction which is with catalyst, it have a low activation energy and forms the product. So we will discuss this activation energy later on in this lecture. So for now you know what is catalyst. A catalyst is a substance which is added in a reaction to just increase the speed of reaction, and after completion of the reaction it get recovered as such. Now what is the mechanism of a reaction with or without catalyst? For example, this is your uncatalyzed reaction where A or B two reactants and where they will form product X. Okay, then we will have uncatalyzed reaction. It will take let's say 2 days, but when we add C catalyst here, then along with the reactants we get product X, but in less than 2 days, even might be in a 1 hour. So this is the difference of a catalyst. So the mechanism can be firstly A react with catalyst C, then it form intermediate, and then that intermediate react with B to form a product and C gets recovered as such. This is what might be these both cannot react easily because of their natures, so they form product in a long time. But when we add C, it first initiates A, then after initiating A, it forms AC, and that AC then initiates and reacts with B to form your product X. This is the difference of catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. So this is our graph, that is your reactant and with the catalyst and without catalyst. With catalyst this activation energy is lower, and without catalyst this activation energy higher. Lesser is the activation energy, easily the product will form. More the activation energy, more time will taken by the reactants to get converted into the products. Now what are the characteristics of a catalyst? A catalyst remains unchanged in mass and in chemical composition at the end of the reaction. It is totally similar as such as it is added in the starting of a reaction. A small quantity of the catalyst is generally sufficient to catalyze the unlimited reaction. So we require a less amount of catalyst. So next is the catalyst cannot initiate the reaction. The reaction of the catalyst is to alter the speed. So the function of catalyst is to just speed up the function. It doesn't mean that if it is not present then reaction doesn't take place. It just simply means it increase the initiation speed of the reactants. So a catalyst cannot change the position of the equilibrium. Equilibrium remains as such. It just speeds the reaction but does not change the equilibrium position. Now what is inhibitor? Inhibitor, in a simple vocabulary, inhibit means to stop something or a thing which stops or inhibits something. So inhibitors are a substance which slow down or prevents a particular chemical reaction or the other processes which reduce the activity of a particular reactant, catalyst or enzyme. So the function of inhibitor is to stop the reaction in a simple way. So how does it works? Inhibitors like enzyme inhibitors are the compound which modify the catalytic properties of enzyme and slow down the reaction rate, or in some cases even it stops the reaction. what is the activation energy? So this is the thing we discuss in catalyst, that activation energy, it is the least possible amount of energy or the minimum energy which is required to start a reaction, or the amount of energy available in a chemical system for a reaction to take place. It is simply the energy which is required for reactants to react with each other to form the product. So activation energy is simply the minimum amount of energy that is required to activate atoms or molecules to condition in which they can undergo chemical transformation or physical transport. Now this graph represents this activation energy we discussed earlier also, the amount of energy needed to start up the reaction. So to start the reaction, in order to speed up reaction, catalysts are used. Enzymes are also catalysts which are present in our body. These are your biological catalysts. So this is the reactant. So after adding catalyst, this activation energy decreases to this and forms the product. So this is the activation energy. Now what is the role of catalyst in a catalyzed reaction? What actually catalysts do? A catalyst is a substance that can be added in a reaction to increase the reaction rate without getting consumed in the process. We know already. Catalysts typically speed up the reaction. By how it speeds? How it increases the speed of a reaction? Simply by reducing the activation energy. If this energy is decreased, so automatically the product will form easily. So they generally speed up the reaction by reducing the activation energy or by changing the reaction mechanism. Enzymes are also your biological catalyst. So this is the graph which represents the catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. This is your uncatalyzed reaction, this is catalyzed reaction. Then this EA of a catalyzed reaction is always lesser than the EA of uncatalyzed reaction. But if this catalyst will act as an inhibitor in any reaction, then it will increases this activation energy which is by catalyzed reaction, so that reaction will stop. Basically I am saying that if catalyst will act as an inhibitor here, so it will increases the activation energy of reaction. So that activation energy is greater than your uncatalyzed reaction, which does not help to increase the speed, even it decreases its speed. So by this we can check the given compound which we added in a reaction. If it increases the speed of reaction, then it will act as a catalyst, and if it decreases the speed of reaction, then it will be your inhibitor. Moving to next topic, what are the types of catalysis? Catalyst can be divided into two main types. One is homogeneous, second one is heterogeneous. Homo means same, so we all know homo means same, hetero means different. So homogeneous catalysis means where the reactants and products are in a same phase, even the catalyst is also in a same phase. Whereas in heterogeneous, the compound reaction or a catalysis, the reactants and product are in different phases and catalyst added in a different phase. For example, in a homogeneous catalysis, catalyst in the same phase as that of the reactants, and in a heterogeneous reaction, the catalyst is in a different phase from the reactants. So here the difference is there. Mainly this heterogeneous catalysis is used for the hydrogenation of carbon-carbon double bond, which forms your carbon-carbon single bond by addition of hydrogen. This is your mechanism for homogeneous catalysis. These two reactants combine with the catalyst and they form your intermediate. This intermediate then get form product, and this catalyst remains as such. So this shows that firstly the reactants don't get combined together, but when this catalyst is there, this catalyst make the reaction possible between both the reactants and make the bond between two reactants and form our product. So this is the simple thing that A and B reactant combine to form AB product. When we add catalyst C, the mechanism will be A plus B will form your ABC intermediate in the presence of C catalyst, and this intermediate then form your AB product, and C is a catalyst. So this is the reaction we want to do, and how this reaction occurs in the presence of catalyst C. So here in all cases the reactants and products as well as catalysts will be in a same phase. This is the example. This we have discussed reactants and catalysts intermediate compound. Then that intermediate compound react with B reactant and will form product and a catalyst. So this is what happens. We can see here a sulfur dioxide reaction where we form the oxidation of sulfur dioxide, we form SO3. O2 in a gas form reacts with N2NO2 gas is a catalyst, then form intermediate compound in a gas. That intermediate in a gas state combines with the reactant SO2 and form SO3 and NO2. Basically here your reaction is between O2 and SO3. So reactant is here 2NO here. Now moving to next, heterogeneous catalysis mechanism. Here we can say that as the reactants and product are and the catalysts are in a different phase. So here what happens, these are the reactants, they firstly absorb the adsorbed reactants on the surface, then they form intermediate, after that they will form the product. Basically what happens here, these both reactants are different. So this is the surface where we want to add. This is your catalyst actually, the surface of the catalyst. These two reactions get adsorbed on the surface of a catalyst. Then after this adsorption, we get the activated complex formation. This forms your activated complex here. So this activated complex then convert into intermediate by bonding between A or B. So this is what in intermediate this bonding is seen. So intermediate then forms the product by breaking this bond with the catalyst surface, and we get a product and catalyst recovered as such. Now the example of heterogeneous, these are helpful for a Haber process which you will study in your P block chapter. It's helpful for contact process, and this is for Ostwald process. Haber process is for the manufacturing of ammonia. There nitrogen is a gas, hydrogen present in a gas form, but your catalyst iron is in a solid state and product is in a gaseous state. Similarly in contact process, sulfur dioxide in a gas form, oxygen in a gas form, but your catalyst in a solid state and product is in a gas state. So this is all how this ammonia react with oxygen in a gas state, forms a product in a gas state, but your catalyst is in a solid state. Similarly, this hydrogenation of vegetable oils will convert it unsaturated to the saturated one, which is your hydrogenation we told earlier. Now next is your catalytic inhibitors and promoters. So you know inhibitors. What are inhibitors? They just affect the speed of the reaction and slow down by increasing the activation energy of a reaction. But the promoters which increase the activity of a reaction by decreasing the activation energy of a process. The promoter is a substance which itself not a catalyst but promotes the activity of a catalyst. Promoter is something different, we can say from a little different from a catalyst. It is a substance which activates the catalyst. Sometimes catalyst do not get activated by itself. At that time we need to add promoter in a reaction which initiates or start up the activity or increases the activity of a catalyst, and then the catalyst react with the reactants and will form the product. Now this topic is our enzyme. Enzyme is a catalytic protein. It is effective in small amount. It is unchanged by the reaction. It also speed up the reaction. So this is the basically what happens in here. That is enzyme. This is the active sites and this is your substrate. So it will form enzyme substrate type reaction and will increases the speed of the reaction. This reaction is without enzyme. This is with enzyme. So similar scenario as in catalyst, same is within a enzyme. So what are enzyme inhibitors? There we use catalyst or inorganic material. Here enzymes are biological material, so inhibitors are also biological material. Here inhibitors bind the species of the enzymes which are available for a reaction. By binding those surfaces, the reaction is not possible by the enzyme and the speed of the reaction stops or reaction does not work. These are the common examples of enzyme in our daily life. That is, urease enzyme is used to convert urea in carbon dioxide and ammonia. Then we use invertase for converting sucrose to glucose and fructose. Then maltase to convert maltose into glucose and another molecule of glucose. Then lactase enzyme is used to convert lactose into glucose and galactose. Then we use amylase to convert starch into glucose. Then carbonic anhydrase is used to convert H2CO3 in CO2 and H2O. Then pepsin in our body is used to convert proteins into alpha amino acids. Then trypsin is used to convert proteins in alpha amino acids. These are all the enzymes which are present in our body and which we use in life. So these are the reactions which occur in our body with the help of biological catalyst, that is enzyme. This is the mechanism of enzyme, the binding of enzyme to a substrate, that is your reactant. Here enzyme is a catalyst like and this is a substance is a reactant. They form an equilibrium, or we can say reversible reaction in a fast speed, which form enzyme substrate complex. First step is your formation of enzyme substrate complex. As it forms, then your enzyme substrate complex reaction slow down and it will form your enzyme product complex, and the third step is to release the product, and again this step is a fast step, and we get our enzyme back as such and we get product formation. This is what happens. This is our substrate which combines with the active sites of enzyme and it will form your enzyme substrate complex. After this enzyme substrate complex, we again get the product out of it and the enzyme get as such recovered as it was before. Now it is again the similar one. Now there are two models of a mechanism of enzymes. First is lock and key model, second one is your induced fit model. The main or important model is your lock and key model. What this model means, here the thing is that lock and key, so it simply just you can think of a lock and a key. So what it happens actually, there are number of cavities on the surface of an enzyme, but the cavities have the specific shape. Okay, so these shapes have the active groups like NH2, COH, SHOH. These functions are active site on the surface of enzyme. The molecules of the reactants, or we can say substrate, have to fit into these groups basically to make the bond with these groups. So if your substrate is compatible with that fit or that shape or that cavity, then only the enzyme substrate formation will take place and we will get the product. So this is the reason. If we can say this shape is different, this is not like this face is here, for example this will be here and this will be here, and from this side there is nothing, there is a flat, so this side will not react with this and this side is totally different with this, so the product will not form. So for that formation, one substrate must have the same shape or specific shape of that particular enzyme in which we are fitting that substrate. So after this fitting is proper, then this enzyme substrate complex formation take place, and after this formation we get enzyme product, then product will formed. Now this is your second model, that is induced fit model. According to this model, when substrate molecule approaches the active site, the enzyme undergo a change in the shape to accommodate the substrate. So for that, enzyme changes its shape, that is induced fit model. We have not worried about that what is the shape of the substrate, because our enzyme have the capacity to change the shape according to the substrate. So that is your induced fit model. This simple is that gloves and hand. Firstly, when you have a pair of gloves, then its size will be different, but when one try to fit in his or her hand, then the shape or size will change. So similarly, this is enzyme substrate induced fit model, where enzyme changes its shape according to the substrate. Now this is your characteristics of enzyme catalysis. Maximum the same characteristics of the enzyme catalysis as similar of the catalyst. They are highly effective. One molecule of enzyme is good for 1 million molecules of reactant to convert the product in per minute. That is why our body works so fast. Highly specific in nature, each enzyme is specific for a given reaction. No one enzyme is not particularly used for each and every reaction. And enzymes work at optimum temperature and under optimum pH values. These are also the enzyme characteristics which are found in our body, how the reaction, how the cell work, how the reaction work, how the enzyme work in our body, what are the proteins, how the proteins get converted, and how the metabolism of our body works. Hope you guys like this video. Keep watching, subscribe for more updates. Thank you.